Alright guys, how's it going? This is Jeff. Today we're going to talk about the subject of growing your own food in Hawaii and living off the land in Hawaii as you feed yourself and others in the community. This is a question posed by Keith Bell. He wants to know if it's possible to take a look into this idea of Hawaii feeding itself. And some of you want to know, can you live off the land? Okay, so the first thing that I want to say about all this is I tried to live off the land, so to say, and I could say that from my experience, I felt a little bit malnourished after some time. So, for all the grief that the FDA and the Food and Drug people that run our country, for all the grief that they take, at the end of the day, the food situation is not as bad as everyone seems to make it out to be, and I don't think they're out to kill us, which is, why some people think, well, you should hear the toxins that Monsanto is doing, putting into the pesticides and the food that you're eating, and the gluten sensitivity thing and the pesticides along with the antibiotics that go into the livestock, so I would say that from my experience, the nutritional value of growing your own food, you really need to be on it. I mean, you get way more abundance in nutrition if you shop organic, so to say. So sure, it's great to grow your own food, grow your own papaya, grow your own mango, but let's be honest, a lot of times let the professional do things, right? It's like you could fix your own car, but sometimes it's better to go to the actual mechanic to do it, right? You can create your own something, anyone can do something, maybe even better, but why try to farm your own cattle or grow your own food when you could let the professionals do it, and they might even do it, they're so used to doing it that they do it better, right? Now, growing food in Hawaii, you can do it here because of the ideal, cool, wet climate, and most of the areas where you can grow, in particular on the Big Island, you have Hamakua, Maui, you have Haiku, Makawao, Hana, you have farms in that area, and then north, you have some farms on Maui, you have farms, pineapple farms are really sugarcane on Maui, those are popular. Oahu, they still have some farms in the middle of the island. On your way from Waikiki to the North Shore, you'll be driving, you'll see on both sides they have farmland. Kauai still has farmland, so it's there. Could it feed the whole state, even to a higher level than it does? Yeah. They grow. A lot of the food is shipped off the island as a gourmet item, in particular the beef, right? So if you're just looking at some of the things to keep in mind, you want to try and plant things that are close to indigenous or endemic to the islands. I mean, that's like taro, right? Taro's a type of root, like a chip. But coconuts, those aren't really endemic, but they're indigenous, right? The difference between endemic and indigenous is endemic means that it's literally came into the creation from this island. Indigenous means that it's been here for a long time and it's taken root, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it was created or comes from here. And I'm not saying taro does either, but there are endemic foods that the native peoples or the people who were here before colonization used to eat. There is an issue with soil here. I mean, there's there's rich soil from years of flora and fauna and stuff like that, but you're also dealing with a lot of lava. So some areas you're going to be having to bring in dirt, and are you going to bring in the right dirt to prepare the bed? You also have to keep in mind there's critters, pigs, chickens, turkeys, mongoose. You're going to need some fencing. There's also various different types of larvae and insects that will come onto your food. There's rat lung disease. And if you're not using pesticides, you're always going to be kind of at risk, and then you might end up kind of appreciating why they've decided to use pesticides or GMO stuff. I'm not saying that it's right, or I'm not advocating for it, but when you grow your own food, you're definitely going to have a lot more control over what's going on, and trial and error and research and development are going to be big for you. Like I said, planting the right types of food, knowing, not trying, like apples. You don't really see apples here. You don't really see orange trees here. You do see pineapples, you see mangoes, you see papayas, you see avocados, coconuts. So sticking more to the basics, right? Can you grow, I've seen them grow cabbage, I've seen them grow onion, and there is varying different types of climate. Obviously coffee beans are grown up here in Kona, and they're grown other parts of the island. So when it comes to growing your own food and living off the land in Hawaii, it's very possible to do that. You also have to understand that, where are you going to get your energy supply from? Because Hawaii energy is very expensive. Are you going to have what kind of power? Are you going to have electric or solar? Are you going to have, I don't know, wind? Are you going to do both, solar and wind, in a combination unit? Or are you going to use water catchment? How are you going to get your water? Just these are things to all consider. I lived on a place that was growing food there, and yeah, it just grew. It just grew really without very little effort. And the bananas would just always, there was always a banana pod or a banana thing to pick, right? These big banana reams, I guess you could call them. And it's pretty good. So growing your own food in Hawaii, very possible. To say that it could sustain the whole island community, probably not, because there's just not enough land. There's probably enough livestock land, but to get those ranchers to sell to the islanders as a whole, I doubt that's going to happen, because they just make too much money importing it, and that's an industry that's been around for a long time with the paniolos, and those are Hawaiian cowboys. So anyways, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask, or look it up. Just type in grow your own food in Hawaii. All right, thank you. Subscribe to the channel if you like.